Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. This is the big one, trackies, the one that you've all been waiting for. Bingy lingy lingy lingy, the women's 100 meters. Yes, it will take center stage in Budapest. And of course, we will crown the world champion in the women's 100 meters. It's been highly anticipated. And of course, without a shadow of a doubt, Jamaica can't wait to see, who will be crowned. Yes, we sent our top two challengers this season, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Shericka Jackson, to take on the world. Yes, we still have a Natasha, and we still have Sasha Lee because we sent four. But, when you talk about taking on the likes of Sha'carri Richardson, Mari Jose Talu, Julian Alfred, then clearly, we have to send for the biggest of the guns. And we're talking about, Shericka Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. We're sending them, to dominate the world. So, well, they sent themselves, but, we're excited that they're there and, in tip-top shape to represent Team Jamaica, right? So, with that said, Trackies, let's take a look at, this women's lineup and, talk about the athletes that I potentially see making the final and of course how things may transpire after, right? So without further ado, let's talk about my top. I think I have seven. I usually leave one spot open for an odd woman out. So let's see, there's always somebody that comes out and surprises. So off the bat I have Shericka Jackson, Sha'carri, Talu, Shelly making the team, making the finals. That is, we have Julian Alfred, I have Dina Asher-Smith. That's six. And my final person that I have listed to make the finals is also Anthony Strawn. So there you have it. That is my seven. Now, personally, when I think about, the last, one, let me not use that finger. The last one outstanding slot, it could possibly go to maybe an American. I wouldn't mind though it go to, another Jamaican, but let's see. Or, the potential outside Daryl Neeter could also possibly make it in. But so far, I'm just gonna leave it at seven. And whoever fights for that last slot, then it is what it is. They'll take it. So the finals now. This is going to be again a really really big race. There's a lot of first timers here. Well, not really a lot. There are two really solid first timers in my list. No, well, Anthony Sean is also a first timer to the finals, I would believe, right? So with that said, we have to delve into what could be expected from them. All right, so off the bat, let's talk about Julian Alfred. I've been having a really phenomenal season, so far this season, and she has run 10.83 seconds. What I love about Julian Alfred this season, again, I've spoken about it multiple times, but it's just the warrior spirit. She's not intimidated by the big names, around her. And I believe, carrying St. Lucia on her back, Julian Alfred will go into that finals and give a good account of herself. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you where I think the athletes are going to place. But yeah, I believe she's going in, fearing no one, and she's going to, give a good account of herself. And she could possibly, challenge again for a medal. That's crazy. First time, on such a big stage, and you know what I mean, or in the finals, that is, because it's not her first time, going to a championship. She was there last year as well. But I mean, to the finals, right? And definitely challenging the big girls, for a medal. That is absolutely, a dream, right? So let's take a look at Dina Asher-Smith. Took her time getting into her season, but what we noticed is that, she incrementally got faster building into the season. And of course, hitting her peak at the right time, in my opinion. So I'm expecting to see Dina come, in possibly a personal best shape. Personally, I've been saying, Dina has to, hit that 10-7, if she's gonna, stave off the likes of a Julian Alfred, because again, I'm saying Julian is fearless, right? So I'm expecting Julian to come, and possibly run low 10-8 and possibly a high 10-7. So it means that Dina, has to be in PB shape. I believe she's in PB shape based on what I've been seeing. So I'm expecting her to finally possibly dip into 10-7 again and be amongst that, 10-7 club finally. And again, hopefully challenge for a medal. She's also, an athlete that comes out, and runs her best in championships. So I'm expecting to see Dina also show up and run a fabulous race in the finals. And yeah, challenge as well. Now, let's take a look at Antonique Strawn. To me, she's a definite outside creeper. Personally, a lot of people are not really looking at her, but I've been watching her all season, and I'm like, this girl is ready to fire a big one. So far she's only run, when I compare her to the rest of the field, clearly 10.92. But what has impressed me clearly is that she's been faced off against quite a few solid fields, and she's run pretty well, which gives me the inclination to say, hey, she's gonna gonna make this final and of course run well, and also possibly run a personal best. Do I think this is a personal best that will challenge for a medal? Not necessarily, but I do think that she'll be in PB shape in this finals, and of course run her absolute best here for Team Bahamas. Now the other athletes that I want to take a look at now. So I've talked about the other three. So let's take a look at the top four. Right, so my top four clearly Shelly, Talu, Sha'carri, and of course Shericka. So let's start with Shelly and Fraser Price. A lot of people keep harping on the fact that Shelly and Fraser Price has only run 10.82 for her caliber. 10.60 has only run 10.82 this season. But again, I keep reminding folks that one, that was only her first 100 meters of the season. Plus, that comes on the back of also, entering the 200 meters at her trials and running a bend for me that looked really, really special. A lot of people talking about, the knee is going to be hampering her and she may have lost her bullet start. She has given me no signs to say she has lost her bullet start. Actually, what I think she's doing is preparing for, the eventuality, of, another athlete that I'll speak on a little bit later, that person's top end. She has to ensure that not only should she have a super duper bullet start, but she has to ensure that her top end can match or outdo, what the other athletes will be coming with. So in the eventuality that if they catch her, she can possibly, hold them off to win that medal. And personally, what I've been seeing from Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce this season, she has been working on her top end, So of course, I'm definitely having Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in there, for a medal, and of course, no doubt, I have her challenging for gold. Right. Next athlete that I want to talk about is Marie-José Talu, having a dream season as well. 10.75 so far this season. However, we've noticed a few technical changes. With Talu, she's running much more relaxed. Her technique itself, those high knee lifts, she looks phenomenal. When she's executing her 100 meters. So the big question now for Marie-José Talu, because she has done it in previous years, is will she be able to manage her rounds correctly, this time around, and ensure that, when she gets to the final, she actually does have her best race left in her legs. Now that will be the biggest challenge for her, but I'm hoping that she turns up in the finals with her best race, and with that best race in her legs, I believe she will definitely be challenging for a medal, right? And possibly again gold as well, right? Now let's move on to the infamous. Yeah, I'm gonna leave infamous in front of Sha'carri's name every time I call her. The infamous Sha'carri Richardson. She's also been having a phenomenal season. She's run, another personal best 10.71 seconds, and also track is, finally, made the team to the World Championships. So she has, taken down, Shericka Jackson, the biggest gun so far this season. So a lot of persons, are touting her as the favorite. She hasn't faced off against Marie-José Talu yet, so we don't know what that clash looks like. But still, she's taken down the biggest of the gun. So a lot of people believe that, hey, she's definitely favorite in this race. So with that said, how do I look at Sha'carri Richardson? Personally, I believe, again, as I said, she's one of those deceptive runners where it's really hard to gauge her ceiling. But I think in my mind, though, I have a good little gauge of Sha'carri Richardson this season. So with that said, I do believe that Sha'carri Richardson's biggest challenger right now is possibly herself. When it comes to how she executes her race, you can clearly see that she struggles with race management as well. Something that she also suffers from, is intense pressure. She's not able to, handle the pressure of the moment. So with that said, it being her first world championship, she definitely, has to get out of her head and just try to run her best race, manage her rounds properly as well. And if she does all of those things correctly, she could, find herself on top of the podium as well. Now, moving on to the final athlete, in my top seven, Shericka Jackson, the woman that has stormed to 10.65 this season, and personally, will be lining up, in my opinion, as the favorite in this women's 100 meters. Now, Shericka Jackson has worked on a lot of things this season. Let's start with the start. I remember when she ran, I believe, that 10.78 it was in Kingston. She really did pop out of the blocks and it really shocked a lot of persons, including myself. And I said to myself, I want to see what that start looks like next to Shelly and Fraser Price because you know what? The coach knows exactly who he needs to take down. And the person that Shericka needs to take down, in my opinion, is Shelly and Fraser Price. So she has to cover all her bases. Shelly has a solid start. I have to also get a solid start. That's how I'm approaching it, based on what I'm thinking is in the coach's brain. And we saw Shericka, have an absolutely stupendous start, in that event. And I'm like, okay, wow, what's happening here? You know what I mean? Is she trying to, get out of the blocks with Shelly and then, let's see who's stopping this better? It seems as though that's the case here, with Shericka Jackson. Then when we move on now to the national, championship, she did, dismantle the field running 10.65 seconds. And then we saw how ridiculous now her turnover had actually become. You know what I mean? So again, working on, those areas where, she wasn't her strongest. And clearly no, her, top end is much more stronger than what it was in the past. Clearly, in my opinion, again, a way, to hopefully stave off, Shelly-Ann Fraser Price. So Shericka Jackson, for me personally, goes into this event as actually, the favorite. If she gets out of this block, Shelly and she Chakis, and she gets out, on par with Shelly and Fraser Price in terms of also, having one of those magical bullet starts, then I believe, coupled with her top end, that she may be able to actually defeat Shelly and Fraser Price in this race. But with that said, I do have Shelly, finishing in second place. And of course, the medal now becomes between Sha'carri and Talu that, both have displayed issues as it relates to running their best race, when it or managing the rounds of their race, in the women's 100 meters. Personally, the two of them haven't met, so it's weird to call one of these, for a medal. But I'm possibly just gonna go with Talu and say she's learned her lesson from all those previous years at the championships, and she will end up on the medal podium, which means that I'm actually calling Sha'carri for no medal. Oh my gosh. I know y'all are gonna, attack me in the comment section and say you can't believe, that I'm not calling Sha'carri for a medal. But yeah, it all depends on, of course, Sha'carri herself. If she gets out of her head, then I can see her medaling. But if she doesn't, this is her first time again on the world stage, it's gonna be very, very tough for her to, medal under all of this, immense pressure. The other athlete that I have really performing well behind Sha'carri is possibly Julian Alfred. I have her really placing well, possibly fifth in this final, possibly taking out, Adina Asher Smith. So this race, is gonna come down to the wire, for the ladies. But I'm excited, to see, how this final pans out. Anyway, Chakis, you tell me in the comment section, who do you have medaling? I have, two Jamaicans standing on top. And of course, I have Mary Jose Talu in third place. Y'all sound off in the comment section below and let me know who you think, will medal in this race. Like the video and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.